Hello everyone, this is just a video to start everyone off with a series about Jonathan's parts of his life, starting from childhood, I would say, to adulthood. So for those who are interested in listening about Jonathan's life, you are welcome to watch this video, and we will be doing a few more after this, so we hope it goes well. And now I'm going to go into trance and allow him to come through and express himself and let him talk to us about his life and how he felt about his life and some of the things that he did. So we will leave you to it, to watch, and we hope that you enjoy. So if we'd like to set up the music, and we'll go into trance.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Jonathan.
It is good to be with you, sir, yes.
Well, you tell us a lot about the afterlife, and a lot of people follow your work, so I thought people might be interested in to hear what your life was like, go into some detail about it.
Yes, you may ask me anything that you wish. I will answer to the best of my ability.
Yeah, we're going to try and do a few videos on it, and hopefully people will be interested. First of all, when was you born and whereabouts did you grow up?
I was born in Islington in London, Highbury. And I was christened somewhere else, if I do remember rightly. But I grew up around Highbury. And my mother started off with a reasonable life. She could feed us and clothe us. And I would say that sometimes she would keep me away from the poorer children, and I would feel that I would want to say hello to them, but we weren't allowed to mix with them, unfortunately. But when I look at it, we are all the same, aren't we? But I will say that I was brought up with my mother and father, and I do believe that my father started to build up a business. And over the years that went by, as I started to get older, this business started to become successful. And so we were able to live quite an elaborate life. And we became well off and were able to buy a wonderful home. And then we were able to live in the manner that we would not have been accustomed to beforehand, you see. So it was built up, rather than just arriving with a silver spoon in my mouth. I wasn't exceptionally poor, but we were living in a working class state and then built up to that.
Okay. Did you have any siblings at all?
Yes, I had 2 sons, Stephen and Paul, yes.
Any siblings, sorry.
Oh yes, I had a sibling, yes, do excuse me. My sister Jane. And a lot of the families in Victorian times would have had a lot of children, but my mother wasn't able to have any more children, so she had me first and then my sister Jane.
Okay. What was your earliest childhood memory, would you say, if you can remember?
My earliest childhood memory. I will always go to the same place. And my mother used to take us to church every Sunday, and I remember sitting in there listening to them all, talking to God and singing. And I would become rather perturbed about that, bored with it as a child. I wanted to go and play. So I would swing my legs on the pew and my mother would say, "Be quiet, Jonathan, sit still." But she was able to afford some elocution lessons, of course. So I was taught to speak and walk from an early age as a boy should and as a man should when I got older, you see. We were taught elocution lessons. My mother wanted us to be proper, you see, so I can remember the teacher saying to me, "Jonathan, I want you to say that again. And I want you to walk that way in a straight line with your head held up high," you see. And if I got it incorrect, she would correct me again. And I would think, well, why do I have to do this? But it made me polite. I was taught politeness. I was taught table manners. But I was born in a place called Rose Cottages, which you can find in the old names of Victorian roads and places that were in London at that time. So Rose Cottages was where I was born.
Was it a good era to be growing up?
It was an era that was hard for some and easier for others. So it could be a struggle with disease and what have you, and lack of money for the poor. But for the rich, it was a wonderful life. It wasn't always easy. We had our tests in life, much like you do today in your society, but we had a good life and a good living, yes. So there were happy moments in my childhood. I know that my sister Jane and I were close at first, but then we went our separate ways in life and began to see less of each other, although I would still be in some sort of contact with her from time to time, but we sort of grew apart a bit, as families do. They do start their own lives, I would say.
Are you more in contact in the spirit world now?
Of course, yes.
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 Oh. Okay, thank you for that, Jonathan. It's only a short video today. We are going to revisit this and come back hopefully quite a few times.
Yes.
To it.
Hopefully you will be more prepared next time.
Yes. Yes.
I have no preparation to make. I am just going to join you when you ask me.
Okay, thank you for that, Jonathan.
Thank you. And God bless you.